Welcome to Sailing Gemma. I'm Ian.
And I'm Sydney.
And we bought this boat for $1. And it's got a lot of problems, so we need to fix them.
Come with us on our journey.
So, me and Sydney were looking for a boat a while ago, and because we really wanted to do boat life, and we started by doing some boat shopping. Do you remember the boats that we went and looked at, Sydney?
We looked at a concrete schooner. That was also a promising choice, but I don't think we really fell in love with it like we did Gemma.
That concrete schooner was a really great blue water boat as far as weight and the full keel and how it was rigged, but I felt like it was too big of a project for us to take on right now. It was a 46-foot concrete schooner
with 8 sails and
it came with 9 sails and it just needed tons of work. And the sad part about that boat was it had such a cool story behind it. It had been around the world 4 times. And it was just an amazing boat. But unfortunately, we decided to pass on that one. And then we went and looked at, in Boston, what was it, a 37-foot O'Day catch, center cockpit. And they wanted 18 grand for this boat, and
it wasn't worth it.
It was one of those boats where you go and you look at it and you're like, what the heck? And we were kind of nice, and we were just like, all right, bye, have a nice day. So that definitely wasn't the boat.
And we didn't really like the layout either. There was 2 companionways.
And then one day, I was perusing Facebook Marketplace, as I always do, and I came across Gemma. And she was an Endeavor 32, and she was listed for $4,900, which was in our price range. And we were going to go look at it.
It was 20 minutes from...
Yeah, it was 20 minutes from Mystic,
staying.
where Kokopelli is, which is my parents' boat. So we went and looked at her, and the guy was really nice, and he was just trying to get rid of her, mainly because he got another boat, and he just didn't have enough time. Wanted to have his motorboat and drive it there. And he told me, he was like, Ian, look, I'm not looking to sell it because I need the money. He's like, you and Sydney are a great couple. I'd love to just give you the boat. And so
we were very grateful.
And that's how we got Gemma for $1. And I actually traded him a pint of homemade maple syrup for it. So I felt like that was worth more than $1 because we were very grateful for this. Mice tears in the sail. And me and Sydney got some sail tape and we fixed that. And that was really awesome. It was so nice to just be able to work on our boat together. That was really the beginning of some boat projects. And we just bought this boat for $1. You think it was a good decision, Sydney?
I think it was.
Alright.
I'm really excited for
And today we sailed it 5 miles from Shenecrosset Yacht Club in Connecticut to Spicer's Marina Noank in Connecticut. And we're just starting to clean up from after that whole sail because we brought tools and stuff. Because I did just buy a boat for $1. So there's a whole bunch of tools and shit's everywhere. And the boat was kind of a mess from when we bought it because... How you doing, Sydney? A little chilly? It's blowing 15 knots right now. and it's 43 degrees outside, but it feels like 20 with the wind chill. So we're on our way to go take long, warm showers. T-bone steak dinners, and there's corn on the cob underneath the tinfoil, and we're just getting ready to eat these steaks. They are almost done. It is like 30 degrees outside right now. We have this hatch open just because it's a little smoky. It's just a little open, but it's too cold to fire up the grill. So it's like 10:30 right now. You can see Sydney is back there in the aft cabin. There's her head right there. She is in the cocoon of about 5 blankets. See? You can see my breath. It's currently like 40 degrees in the cabin right now. And I am reheating a Mexican street food quesadilla that we got in like the world's best Mexican taco food truck, and underneath this tin foil is 2 leftover churros that I heated up in a pan with butter and maple syrup, kind of like frying them in the butter maple syrup, and made this like a little caramelization. So, what do you think of the churro, Sydney? Take a bite. Good? The reheated churro with the maple syrup and the butter fried in the pan?
10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Alright, good. It's a good way to reheat churros if you have any leftover churros for some reason. Just doing some boat projects on Gemma right now, and I figured out that the alternator was working just a little bit, but it's also, everything on here is super loose. Like, I have this voltage meter right here for the batteries, and right now it reads just like a little above 12 volts. When it's running, it read at like 13, and normally an alternator will charge at 14 volts, so it's only charging at 13. But if it's not spinning as fast and it's slipping, it will charge less. And if you look here, like this bracket is loose and this belt is super loose too. So I'm just gonna adjust the belt and tighten this bracket down because the bolt's loose, and then hopefully it'll charge better. Well, we figured out why the alternator was loose. The alternator bracket is broken. I don't know if you can see that. So there's a crack right there where my finger is. And it is all the way through. So I'm going to pull off the alternator and bring that bracket home so I can either weld it together or copy the bracket and make a new one. So now I need to take the alternator out, and Sydney is hanging out with me while we work on this. Alright, so I have the alternator off, and you can see, you know, that's the alternator bracket, that's where it's broken. And if you look on the alternator here, you can see where that part of the bracket is still hooked on because it's broken. So I'm going to try to weld this bracket back together on my shop at home. Alright, so I've welded the alternator bracket back together and at my old shop, and now the alternator is in and everything's all hooked up. I have concluded that after doing the alternator and looking at more of the wiring, that this boat is probably going to need some wiring work. So that's going to be fun. But here it is. The alternator belt is actually tight now, and you can see where the break was right here. That's where I welded. See it better like that. You can see that ground spot. That's where I welded. but it's actually all tight now, which is good. And I'm gonna fire it up and see if my batteries are charging. I still do have 12 volts, so I should have enough to charge it, but I have a jump pack just in case. There's a boat sailing off their mooring right here. We'll be able to do that pretty soon. We just got the sail on and we're just about ready to go out for a sail. Just kind of have to put some stuff away down below and finish putting away some tools and stuff that we have out from Sydney winching the greasing the winch. Yeah. I just turned off the motor a little while ago because I really was sick of listening to it. And I figured the batteries were charged enough and we're going to be going out there in a little bit and motoring anyways, so beautiful day for a sail. So, the boat is demasted. And we're all wrapping up the wires and stays. And then she's gonna go on the trailer with Coco Pelli's masts over there. So, everything looks good up here. Putting Gemma on the slings.
Jason read out him and 8 pounds.
Ain't moving that.
Thank you guys.
Guys, just pressure washing it. First time seeing her out of the water. It's pretty weird. Looks pretty good.
Got it? I'm off.
I probably, it wouldn't take me long. I'd have to crawl in the engine bay. It wouldn't take me. Alright, we are all done on Gemma. So next time you see us on Gemma, we are going to be making a top for her, me and Sydney, so we can start doing some boat projects.